The Story of the Three Little Pigs. Once upon a time there were 3 little pigs who lived with their mother. When they grew up, it was time for them to leave home and seek their fortunes in the world. Their mother hugged them goodbye and advised them to be careful and wise in building their new homes. The first little pig, who was rather lazy and preferred to spend his time playing, met a man carrying a bundle of straw. Thinking this would make for a quick and easy house, he asked, "Please, sir, would you sell me that straw?" The man agreed, and the first little pig rapidly built himself a house of straw, feeling quite pleased with his minimal effort. The second little pig, who was somewhat more industrious than his brother but still enjoyed his leisure time, encountered a man carrying a load of sticks. Believing this would make a sturdier house than straw but still require minimal work, he requested, "Kind sir, would you sell me those sticks?" After purchasing the sticks, he constructed his house, which took a bit longer than his brother's straw house, but still left him plenty of time to play. The third little pig, who was the most hard-working and sensible of the 3, met a man with a cartload of bricks. Understanding that a solid house required proper materials and effort, he asked to buy the bricks. Though it would take much longer to build, he knew it would be worth the investment. He carefully laid each brick, ensuring his house was strong and well constructed. Not long after the 3 pigs had settled into their new homes, a big bad wolf came prowling through the neighborhood. He was known for his fierce appetite and particular taste for pigs. When he spotted the straw house, his mouth began to water. The wolf approached the first little pig's house and called out in his most intimidating voice, little pig, let me come in." The frightened pig responded, "Not by the hair on my chinny chin chin." This made the wolf angry, and he growled, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." True to his word, he took a deep breath and blew with all his might. The flimsy straw house collapsed instantly, and the terrified first little pig ran as fast as he could to his brother's stick house. The wolf, now even hungrier, followed the pig to the second house. Again he demanded, little pigs, let me come in." And again came the response, this time from both pigs, "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins." The wolf repeated his threat. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." He inhaled deeply and blew with tremendous force. The stick house shook and rattled before finally falling apart, sending both pigs running to their brother's brick house. Now all 3 pigs huddled inside the brick house, while the wolf, more determined than ever, approached. For the 3rd time he called out, little pigs, let me come in." The 3 pigs replied in unison, "Not by the hair on our chinny chin chins." The wolf, confident in his lung power, declared, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." He took the biggest breath yet and blew with all his might, but the brick house stood firm. He tried again and again, but the house wouldn't budge. Frustrated and angry, the wolf decided to try a different approach. He noticed a chimney on the roof and hatched a plan. He called out to the pigs, "I know a field nearby with some lovely turnips. Shall we go together to pick some for dinner at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning?" The 3rd little pig, being clever, replied, "Very well. What time shall we meet?" "At 6 o'clock," said the wolf. But the next morning, the 3rd pig got up at 5 o'clock and collected the turnips before the wolf arrived. When the wolf came calling at 6, the pig called out, "I've already been and come back. I have a pot full of turnips for my supper." This made the wolf even angrier, but he tried again. "Little pig, there's an apple tree in the orchard. Shall we go together to pick apples at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning?" The pig agreed, but woke up at 4 o'clock the next day and went to gather apples. He was up in the tree when he saw the wolf approaching. "Hello, friend," called the pig. "Here, catch these apples." He threw an apple far away, and while the wolf ran to fetch it, the pig quickly climbed down and ran home. The wolf, now furious at being outsmarted repeatedly, decided to drop all pretense. "Little pig," he snarled, "I'm going to come down your chimney and eat you all up." The third little pig, having anticipated this, quickly built a roaring fire in the fireplace and placed a large pot of water over it. The wolf climbed onto the roof and began his descent down the chimney. The three pigs waited anxiously as they heard the scraping of his claws against the chimney walls. With a great splash, the wolf fell right into the pot of boiling water. He leapt out with a horrific howl and ran away, never to return to that part of the country again. The three little pigs lived safely in the brick house, having learned valuable lessons about hard work, preparation, and the importance of building strong foundations. The first two pigs were especially grateful for their brother's wisdom and craftsmanship, and they all agreed that taking shortcuts in life rarely leads to success. From that day forward, they lived together happily, sharing their home and their work, and they were never troubled by wolves again. The first two pigs learned to be more industrious, helping their brother maintain their sturdy brick house and tend to their garden, where they grew turnips and other vegetables. They even planted their own apple tree, so they would always have fresh apples without having to venture to the orchard. The story of the three little pigs spread throughout the countryside, serving as a reminder that patience, hard work, and doing things properly the first time are always worth the extra effort. Their tale became a favorite among parents, teaching their children about the value of diligence and the dangers of laziness and cutting corners. And so they all lived happily ever after, safe and sound in their house of bricks. Thank you for listening, and I hoped you liked this story. If you enjoyed it, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I have plenty more fairy tales for you.